Hi there, it's Rob here from the gym team. I hope you're well. Welcome to this restorative stretch. The idea behind this class is to really help you out. If you're really struggling with maybe desk-based anxiety and strength and perhaps some inflexibility that's affecting your hip flexors and your back and your shoulders. So that's the purpose of this class. It's about 20 minutes of stretching just to really help you out. And you can put this in perhaps at the start of your day, or maybe at the end of it, or maybe into your lunch break if that would really help. Okay, grab yourself a pint of water, take a sip, lick around your lips and hydrate. Put some quiet music on the background, switch your mobile phones off and all your social media devices. Take some time out for you. Cheers. Okay, if you have the opportunity to do this in barefoot, then please do so. You'll need a nice thick mat. If you're on a hard floor, alternatively on carpet, it should be okay. Okay, but as always, keep it all safe, relevant, and effective for you. This is your training session. Okay, so from here, let's take our feet, a fist gap apart, our chest facing forward, and let's just work through our calf raises. So from here, we've got our hips square to the wall in front of us, and as we push up high into the calf raise, we're slowly going to lower ourselves back down. Now the glutes stay nicely engaged, the shoulders are back, the chest lifted. We raise high into calf raise again, and we slowly lower back down. Breathing out, pushing up again, holding that strength. Slowly releasing, slowly lowering back down again. Curling through the whole of the arch of that foot. Lifting strong and high. And again, lifting our chest, feeling the big toe, little toe down to the floor, and releasing. From here, we're going to roll over the toes. So we're just lengthening out the front of the top of the foot. And each time we're trying to lengthen through. Now, if you find this is difficult and you don't have that mobility, certainly perhaps in your big toe, maybe there's a bunion there, or there's not enough spacing, then I really do recommend you go and see a good sports therapist that can help get through your toe movement and trying to help getting that flexion extension through your foot. If your foot doesn't move properly, your ankle can't move properly, and everything else is a ricochet effect thereafter. So see if you can get as much movement through here. Now, as you're pushing through one foot, and you find it's a little bit more strenuous, so I'm finding this on my big toe here, you're just going to pause. And you're just going to give it a gentle guide, not straining it, just gentle guide of forward and backwards, just get a bit of lengthening out. You might find you want to lift through your torso and center yourself a little bit better as well. And you want to make sure that the big toe to the little toe, the knuckles are down. After a while, you might find it starts to cramp. If you did it on one foot, we need to equalize it. So let's try it on the other foot. And you might find as you're pressing through, so the knuckles are coming down to the ground, you've got that nice big pronation through the foot. What's actually happening here? Is it in the lateral side of the foot? Is it on the medial side, the inside edge of it? Is it all the way through the big toe? Is it through the little toes? What's giving you that movement? From here, release, just walk out on the floor. And again, throw your big toe, little toe down to the floor and then lift. Big, strong, controlled lifts up, slow control back down again. And your heels just want to be tapping the floor each time. Big lifts, nice and strong. Chest lifted. Slow control back down to the ground. Four more here. Let's go. Strong lift. Slow control over. Three more here. Two more here. Really big, strong lifts up nice and high. One more here. Good work. From here, stand the right leg. And I want you to sway like a pendulum the left leg. Just going to cross over the lead leg and swing back out again. Now, if you find that tough, grab a finger and just literally one finger across. I want you to be able to feel what happens here in the hip and the pelvis. Does everything need to twist? Can you keep it straight? You should be able to floss. Take one leg behind you, one leg forward. Now, if you're finding that's getting tough, be kind to yourself. Slow it down. This is one of the best things at mobilizing the hip and the pelvis. Every time that hip is having to rotate inside the pelvis, every time the pelvis is having to compensate as well. Every time those muscles at the back, the legs, they're all having to work just that little bit harder. One more here. And release. Changing legs. Standing on the left leg. Again, use one finger against the wall. You might not even need it. You can take it away. It's absolutely fine if you feel like you feel more comfortable with that balance. But I want you to try and use whatever you can to get as much range. So if I bring my leg anteriorly, so forwards of myself, this is quite easy. It's comfortable. And when I bring it posterior, trying to get it behind, you really have to flex that standing knee to twist. And that's showing me that I've got some stretching work here to be done. So the glute medius and the TFL on the side of my leg needs a bit of a stretch out. Take note of what's happening for you. If your leg is coming across and it's getting restricted here, you know that your adductors, your inner thigh are getting inhibited. Now for me to keep this back leg behind, I get to here, and then I have to flex my knee to get that range. So again, it's that stiffness here on the lateral side of my hip. It's not allowing that movement as much as I would like. So we're going to work on that today as well. One more here. You might be able to get a bit more of a swing, a bit more of a floss onto that. And release, shake it out. Roll out the hips. And we're just going to flex. Now, hands go on top of the thighs. The feet stay that fist gap apart. We stick our bottom back. A few clunks coming out the back of the body. And feeling our big toe to our little toe square and flat down to the floor. From here, we walk the hands down to the shin. We drop the chin on the chest. And feel that stretch increase through the back. From here, we fold the arms, allowing ourselves to drop a little bit further. Chin drops down on the chest. We allow the crown of the head to come down to the floor. Now, this isn't about can you put your nose on the ground. This is about keeping the legs straight, taking the flexion out, feeling the lengthening through the lateral and perhaps certainly down the posterior side of the body. You might find a bit on the lateral side of the body. Hands come back down to the shins. Drop the chin further onto the chest. Allow yourself to drop again. Should be feeling a deep stretch all the way through your lower back and your hamstrings. Slowly coming up, and let's take the feet wide. This time again, we're keeping the legs nice and straight, dropping down into our ragdoll stretch. Our hands are on top of the thighs again, feeling the lengthening all the way through the posterior side of the body. We're now going to turn our toes out, following the direction of the legs so that they're out in a slight diagonal. And then we're going to turn them out even further. We might find a bit of a stretch occurring through into the calves. From here, we're going to turn the toes back in a fraction again, before turning them completely parallel to each other again. Great way of extending the hamstrings. And if you're getting bad backs, you get a bad back, 90% of all back problems are because of tight or short hamstrings. And as you're moving the feet, let's turn them back onto the diagonal again. I want you to take notes as to what happens in the back of the legs. Is it more on the medial side of that hamstring? Is it more the lateral? What's happening? Is that biceps or is it the semicisters? Which are taking more of the load? Turning them back to diagonal again before turning back into plane and using the strength of your feet flat to the floor to lift your torso up to standing before coming through to standing. Rolling down to the floor, laying on your right side, and we want to try and release off the front of the left thigh. So as you drop down, we're going to grab that left foot into our quad stretch. Little gap between the knees, driving forward on the hips, bring the shoulders back. Nice, deep, long stretch through the left thigh. Now, if you allow the left knee to come back behind you slightly, raise your torso and lean back and feel your left thigh stretching out a little bit further. Support the foot, allow the knee back a fraction more. Shoulders back, chest lifted. Trying to keep the gap between the knees. See if you can extend the leg that's on the ground and point the toe away from you. Allow your pelvis to tilt forward, allowing the top knee to come back behind you. Feeling that stretch increase through the left thigh. Slowly releasing that top leg, allowing the knee to extend before taking that left knee up and just massaging out the outside of the left hip. Releasing, rolling over to the left side. Again, making a nice straight line from your nose through to your toes. Grabbing that right foot, lifting your heel up to your bottom, doing a nice stretch to the front of the right thigh. And again, see if you can straighten out this bottom foot. See if you can point it out to the side wall, keeping the heel up to your bottom. Taking a moment to close the eyes. Taking a slow, deep breath in for 4. Slow, deep breath out for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And release. Shaking out, extending the leg. Dropping back through into press-up position on your knees. Stick your knees out nice and wide, stick your feet together, and see how far you can sit back up onto your heels. Now, if you struggle with that extension through the front of your shins, place a cushion underneath your bottom and sit onto it. From here, we're going to take that right arm behind our back, and we're going to find that torso releasing as we tuck that right hand on the inside of our right foot. We're going to twist, open up the chest. We bring our left hand over onto the outside of the left thigh. Slowly releasing. Stretching high. Slow release back down. Take the left hand, place it inside the inside of the left foot. Retract the left shoulder back. Turn your torso to the wall behind. Keep your knees wide. Allow the rotation through the torso. Slowly allowing yourself back through into the middle. Walking your arms forward. Oh. Dropping down through into child's pose. Keeping your hands at least a hand's width apart. Trying to get a straight line from your elbows through to your hands. Keeping the forearms flat to the ground. Allow your head to drop. A nice deep stretch all the way through the posterior side of your body. From here, walking back into press up. Taking those hands side by side, placing the left arm through and thread the needle. Turning the hand flat to the ceiling and feeling a big stretch out through the shoulders and through the upper back. Stick your bottom back, feel a good, deep, long stretch. Slowly release. Walk back onto your press position and tuck the right arm through. Allowing that right shoulder to come down to the ground, palm facing up. Slowly releasing out that stretch. Going back in through to sitting on your shins, lifting up through your torso. From here we kneel and we take our left foot forward. Bring a big deep stretch all the way through the right inner thigh and through the right hip flexor. And turn your torso over to the left side, whichever knee is forward. You should feel a deep stretch through the front of the hip flexors, top of the right thigh. If you can't feel it, wiggle your left foot forward a little bit further. Allow yourself to sink onto that left knee. Feel a touch more rotation if you can. Slowly allowing yourself out of that stretch. Swapping the legs over, feel your big toe, little toe, knuckles down to the ground. Again, we're going to take a little turn over, looking over that right side of the body, allowing a bit more rotation, the left hip flexor fully extended, hips driven forward, chest up, chin up now, so we get a bit more rotation. So the left inner thigh and the left hip flexors working and feeling the stretch. Hands to the outside of the right thigh. Allow that stride. Slowly allowing yourself back through to kneeling, sitting onto the back of your heels, lifting your chest. Lifting yourself through into standing. Taking your feet out, just a fist gap apart, hinge and drop. Slowly standing through, taking the arms up wide, grab one hand, tilt to the left, push the arms out fully for the lengthening through the lateral chain of that body. Really feeling that lats dorsi, really push the arms out. Release. Repeat and stretch to the other side. And release. Well trained. Hope you enjoyed that training session. As always, if I can help get in contact, well trained. Get your hydration high after that, so get your fluids on board. I'm well trained. I'll see you next time for the next one. Oh, that was hot and sweaty. That was a good one. Love that.